Hello everyone and welcome back. I am Duke Silver and today we're going to be playing Fairytale Fables version of Trophy Hunter. A bit different than Storybook Brawl. So the first two sleighs you get are basically they activate twice. So yeah, you just get a little bit of extra value for your sleigh characters. So yeah, we're on the lookout for some sleigh characters early. We don't find one this time. We just find a talking frog, which flips into Freed Prince once you cast a spell targeting it, and it gets like a pretty decent chunk of stats here once you do flip it. We do find a second one and manage a tie for our second fight here. And here we have to weigh the option between casting this 1 gold targeting spell on the other talking frog, and I think we're going to do that. It's just going to add a little bit more stats than just buying a random 2 will. And then we're gonna take our free roll. Rather than just, I mean, we could buy the pair of dogs here as well, which kind of hedges us into either hero attack or just buying other dogs. But we end up taking the angel cat, which is a pretty solid tempo play on level 2, and on level 3 if you can find the 3-cost angel lord. And then we get a look at another angel cat here, which we are going to take. We're going to take the pair, even though the level 2 treasures are like pretty bad. It's still worth taking the pair. Again, it's just reasonable for 2 gold and a mana at this stage in the game. And speaking of reasonable for the mana cost or gold cost, we're going to take the Dachshund or Dash Hound, however you want to pronounce it, which is going to give us it's going to be a 7/8 for 3 gold, and also it's going to enhance any other dog that we buy. It is going to incentivize us to pick up at least one other dog, and it's just like a really reasonable tempo play this early. And yeah, even though the level 2 treasures aren't great, we're still going to take this triple. And I think we're going to take the free reroll treasure here, the Crossroads. Oh, sorry, not the Crossroads, the other one. Anyways, and we do find the 3-cost Angel Lord. I'm sorry, I'm not completely familiar with all the card names quite yet. We'll get there though. But yeah, that's gonna the Angels are really a really solid tempo choice in the mid game here. There's a really solid level 4 angel that has ranged and also gets bigger for each angel on your board. They do kind of fall off in the late game though. The level 6 payoffs just aren't really quite at the level as some of the other comps. And yeah, not too much going on in these shops. We're mostly looking. We're looking for other angels. We would like another dog, maybe another Dachshund. Right now, I think I was considering some of this the mage characters there, but decided to take the roll, and we find a pair of Romeos here, which is really nice. So Romeo and Juliet in this game, they kind of buff each other up, rather than having the stats go one way like they did in Storybook Brawl. So Romeo and Juliet have basically the same ability. I give 150% of my stats to the other part of the pair. So Romeo gives it to Juliet, Juliet back to Romeo, of course. So if you get, there's our Juliet, which we're going to pick up. So you want to stagger them. So the first Romeo is going to die, give the Juliet stats, and then the Juliet's going to give those stats, the gained stats, back to the other Romeo. It's also, you can also just play the Juliet up front, and then Juliet gives her stats to both Romeos. So like the ordering doesn't actually matter that much. I'm not entirely sure if it's even optimal to make sure they're staggered, or if it matters at all, really. And yeah, we end up finding another Juliet there and locking it. All right, manage a tie here. There's a lot of ties in this game, you'll notice, because of the addition of the hero attack mechanic, which can make games feel like they're going longer. But the average life, or the starting life of heroes is reduced compared to Storybook Brawl. So I think the games tend to be on average about the same length. Looking at a funny cat, like just considering hedging into the cat comp. Like cats are just super easy to get into. You can find a bunch of cat summons relatively easily, and they have a really high ceiling. So if you want just like a really simple, linear, powerful build, like you can pretty much just force cats every game, especially with the free reroll every turn. Like forcing strategies is a lot easier in this game compared to other auto battlers. And we're just going to continue accumulating Romeos and Juliets for the mid game here. They actually they scale pretty well later into the game than you would think, at least compared to the Storybook Brawl iteration, of course. I'm going to do a lot of comparing to SBB, so hopefully that's that's all right. It's just, I mean, of course, I assume most of the people watching are familiar with SBB, and that's why they're here. So that's why I figure the comparisons are worth making. And yeah, we get a level 4 treasure there, tripling our Juliet. We're just going to take Immutable Idol, which is going to turn our first character slot. It's going to change the base stats of that character to 1414. Whether they're above or below, it'll set it right to 1414. So you don't want to put anything big there. You obviously want to make sure that you're filling that slot with a character that wants to grow into a 1414. And we take a fairy there, which is gonna. The fairy says when it dying breath, so when it dies, it gives 100% of its stats to something else on your board. So of course, increasing the stats to 1414, we're going to really make use of that. We actually pick up a loss there, surprisingly. I felt like our board was pretty strong, but opponent just got the best of us there. I mean, we do still have two freed prints on our board, which is not the greatest. I mean, it does give our royals +1. They do have the aura effect, give your royals +1/+1, but at this stage in the game, like, that's pretty unremarkable buff. And then yeah, we get another level 4 triple. We get to triple our fairy here. It would have been great to been able to turn the second copy into a 1414 first, and then their base stats would combine. But I mean, we can't just sit there and spend 7 gold or waste 7 gold. So we just take the triple, and yeah, we get a pirate map, which is the next time we find a treasure, it's going to be it's going to pop the treasure map, and it's going to be 2 levels higher, and that only triggers if all your treasure slots are filled. So the Storybook Brawl comparison is treasure map, of course, which was a level 3 and did not have that restriction. So it's kind of a heavily nerfed version of that. Once again, we end up with a tie here. We're happy to have tie, or happy to take any ties that we can. We just want to get to the late game at this point and get a high level treasure with our pirate map. Here I'm looking at I think it's Uther Pendragon, which is has a lot of text on it, and basically what it says is it has an aura effect, so all your boosters or supports that are in the front row affect your entire back row, and also it has a boost effect itself. So yeah, there's some cute things you can do with it if you can get some of the powerful boosters. And especially the good mage, or sorry, the wise Merlin, I want to say it's called. It's on level 6, and it basically applies your boost an additional time. So you can get 1 or 2 of those and another powerful boost effect, and that could really spike up the power of your back row, and make for some very interesting builds, anyways. And yeah, we find a good boy, the classic good boy. He's back. And he's here, and it's gonna fit very, very nicely in our Immutable Idol spot. And also we pick up a second one, which is great, so we can move that over into slot number 1 next turn. And also that's a 6 pair for our pirate map, so really, really good turn there on level 6. And there's the Merlin, and there's Merlin that I was talking about, which again goes really well with the Uthin, but or Uthin, one of those. But I don't think we're going to take it because we have the good boys. Like, we don't want to be putting the good boys in the back. Even though good boys, when they die, they only give 3 good characters now, their stats. But we still don't want to be putting them, again, in the back. We still want to have them applying stats to our Romeo and or Juliets, and have them kind of toss stats back and forth. Consider taking this health potion, but we consider against it just because we really want to get those extra rolls. We're still at a pretty healthy life total of 25. We just really want to find our good boy triple. I think we're gonna pick up this Narcissus though. It's a level 5. It's a level 5 pair basically, and if we can just find another one of those, then that's gonna be our pirate map level 7 treasure. You see, we keep passing up Romeos, and normally if we had a little bit more time, I would have sold down for the other Narcissus this turn, because we did waste a couple gold there. But unfortunately, we just didn't have time, and I didn't want to sell a couple things and not be able to buy it. All right, We did lock it, so we got it this turn. So we have a few different options. Golden Mimic's really good if your other treasures are strong. There's a reasonable aura there, plus 14, plus 7. Or there's the Holy Grail, which is the next two characters we buy are going to be tripled. So you're going to get the treasure from them, as well as they're going to be upgraded. So that just like allows us to get like a really, really big power spike for the next 2 level 6s we buy. And speaking of level 6s, we're going to buy Tyrannical Nero here. It's going to give us another level 6 treasure, which we're going to take the Sintamani Stone, which is going to give us a level 7 treasure in 2 turns. Or sorry, next turn? Is it next turn? Anyways, I think it's 2 turns. So yeah, what Tyrannical Nero does is for every position away from the position it was in the last fight, it gives the dogs on your board +4, +5 food stats, I believe, for each position. So you just switch it between position 1 and 7 to get the most stats, and it's just going to apply a bunch of stats to our good boys. And again, because good boys only give us give stats to 3 other good characters, we're fine with just playing an evil character to supplement them here. And yeah, getting a few more good boys here is fantastic. And yeah, you can see just like the amount of stats that the Tyrannical Nero gives those good boys, and the fact that they can give the stats to each other and just like really start to multiply stats is great. All right, and I'm not sure exactly what happens, but the game does break here. So I had to relog a couple times. We lost an entire fight there. I did lock a Proud Corgi before, but wasn't able to pick it up, as again we lost that entire section. And also our Sintamani Stone did gobble up our pirate safe that we took from one of our level 6 triples. But we did end up winning the fight while we were off screen. I mean, we're very, very powerful at this point, so it's not all that surprising. But yeah, now we picked up an additional good boy as well as a Mirror Fairy here to really soak up all those stats that we're throwing around. Romeo and Juliet have passed their expiration date, and hey, there's that Proud Corgi that I wanted, which is going to replace the fairy. And so what Proud Corgi does is, as long as it hasn't been in the same position for the last, like, I think 2 fights, you can tell there's a trend with most of the dogs is you want to take them for a walk, you want to move them around the board, which can get a little bit tedious, but like I said in my intro video, it's cute. Anyway, so as long as it hasn't been in the same position for the last 2 combats, it's going to get, I think, 150% extra stats, or maybe 200% extra stats from stats gained during the fight. So Tyrannical Nero is of course going to give it stats because it's a dog, as well as all those good boy, any of the good boy stats that go onto the Corgi are going to be increased as well. And of course, Mirror Fairy is going to see all those stats as well. And yeah, we're just going to get a lot of numbers thrown around here. And yeah, you can see we handle that opponent very easily with a lot of stats left on board, and yeah, we take the victory. Again, these first few videos are going to be a little, like, I don't know all the all the names, so it's going to be a little bit rough, so I apologize for that. I hope this was enjoyable. I tried just doing this exactly like my old Storybook Brawl videos, just kind of one take, basically narrating as it goes in 2x speed. Let me know if the combat is a little bit too fast. I have it set to 2 times right now, but I can slow that down so that when I speed up the video, it's not quite as fast. And yeah, I know I've heard people sort of complaining about the AI art, and the AI art is just a placeholder. This game was built by a one person dev team, Laralas, who has done a pretty phenomenal job, I would say, just as a one-person team, kind of building it from obviously using kind of SBB as almost a template, but I think again it's become enough different that I definitely wouldn't call it a clone anymore. I think it's a pretty much entirely different game. It's got entirely different mechanics. It's it's just another iteration in the genre, I would say, akin to like Vampire Survivors to like Brotato. Well, I mean Brotato's a bit of more of an iteration, but in that kind of in that same kind of vein. And yeah, I can't wait to see where it goes from here. So I hope if you have a beta key, I hope you've been enjoying playing it. And yeah, if you need a beta key, I think there's one more. There'll be one more, or this is the last day for closed beta. If you need one, you can just leave a comment on this video and ask for one. I can get you one, or you can get go to my intro video and there's a link to the FTF Discord, and you can claim a beta code there. Otherwise, the game should be open to the public tomorrow. So, again, thank you all for watching. I hope this was enjoyable. Definitely leave any or let me know if you want me to like change the style, if like if this isn't working for this game in particular. I know it's not as polished, so maybe we need to make some changes to the video format or something. And I'm always open to constructive criticism. So, anyways, I've rambled long enough. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.